he's gonna be legit. But
Did you see that the Mets are looking to acquire fucking
Andrew McCutcheon.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
They got to
I don't
replace
hate
Darren
it.
Ruff, man.
I don't hate
That's what
You
that.
guys got to replace Carlos Correa.
Yeah.
Now it's just like Vet. He went from Carlos Correa to
Andrew
Vet,
McCutcheon.
who deserves a
play?
ring.
He plays in the outfield?
Who?
Ruff?
Yeah, he's like outfield first baseman, DH. So
Yeah,
we
I thought
actually
he was
needed
just a
him.
fat boy.
Yeah, he is.
You know, I've never
So-
seen a picture of Darren Ruff. Hold on.
Yo, hold
We're
on.
basically going to
Somebody's ringing
drop
my-
him.
Someone's at my
Get Andrew
door ringing the
McCutcheon.
doorbell.
Oh,
I'll be right
shit. Go
Oh,
fuck
shit,
him up,
Rob.
Chris.
Yeah.
This is weird. This is weird.
Jelly kick that nigga.
No, that's
You?
definitely going in the intro.
It's fucking almost. It's almost 10 o'clock at night and people are ringing on this doorbell.
you saw the reaction in his face?
Yo, what up?
He got mad scared.
Bro, it's 9:30. Like
That's
nobody
what I said.
who rings the doorbell, bro? Like who rings the doorbell? Like anyone? Like
Yo, it
it's
was
not-
some
it's
dude
not
that
like
said,
those
"Hey, do you have a
places
couple minutes to
past
talk
8.
about God?"
I mean, it's not like it's not like we don't all have cell phones nowadays. Like who's really coming to your door knocking on it? Like
Fucking Bauer, Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer. If you're watching this, and we know that you're watching this.
Allegedly.
He's like, "Hey, so you think there's a chance I can go to Boston? I just heard you say that."
Oh, yeah.
All right, you boys ready? I'm fucking pumped. We're back.
Hell yeah, bro.
brother.
Slap my ass and call me Sally.
My polio is kicking up though, so I might have to cut this short. Three, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to the Built Different podcast, episode 14 of High and Inside. Yes, 14. I'm even just mind-blowing. This is our first episode of 2023. I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Not So White Chris, Wulfy, and your favorite Uber driver, Poppy Devante. That's what I like to call him because he's a Poppy Chulo. What? Who said that? Not me. But Wulfy, why don't you lead us off with your opening take, man? As always, lead us off.
Yo, Happy New Year, guys. Good to be back. And I'm on a high note right now. We're going to talk positive baseball. We're in a good spot right now. It's January 11th. Most players have been signed right now. Guys are literally getting big contracts, big years. It doesn't matter if they're young rookies like Tatis or guys like Aaron Judge who are already in their 30s. They're getting paid, which is good to see. They're finally getting what they deserve. It would be nice to see some of the lower teams like the Pirates, Orioles, those guys that actually have rich owners start to spend a little bit.
Pirates are making moves, buddy.
Hey, yeah, at least they're doing something, right? But it's good to see, though, like, most of the big guys, not even 2 weeks into January, and they're already gone. We can kind of know what the teams are going to look like going forward. Teams also agreed on the new rules in 2023, so that's a good sign. And considering at this point last year we were in a lockout, it's new, refreshed baseball this year. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to talking to it with you guys. So, let's start off the year right.
Heck yeah, man. I'm in the same boat, man. I like where baseball's going. I specifically like it in the NL East because the Nationals, they didn't really do a damn thing this offseason. I liked it. We're rebuilding. We're going to stick with our young guys, see what they got. We got some random veterans in random places, whatever. But what I like the most is that 3 of the most, I don't want to say shittiest because I don't want to roast some of our listeners out there, but 3 of the most craziest fan bases in our entire sport, the Braves fans, the Mets fans, and the Phillies fans are going to have such a pinnacle of a year. They're going to be arguing all year. It's not going to make any sense. The Braves are going to act like they didn't just win the World Series 2 years ago. Mets fans are going to act like they're the World Series winners already. And the Phillies are going to act like they got a chance. So I cannot wait. It's going to be fun. Devante, what's on your mind?
It's quite a year seeing, what the Red Sox have done. We lost Xander, unfortunately, but we gave this whole bag to Rafael Devers, which is pretty great to see. Came from the bottom, and one of the best third basemen in the game, and has still so much more to grow potentially. But aside from that, it seems like we're working backwards, and with everybody that we're bringing in, we're looking like grandfathers, and it kind of reminds me of like 2013 where we had a whole bunch of players that we brought back that were just pretty much out of their prime, man. One would say washed and everything, but you saw how crazy 2013 was. But then again, like, I don't know, maybe David Ortiz played the biggest role there, and his speech must have, lit a fire in their asses. So, hopefully Trevor Bauer could do the same thing for us when he comes and play for us. But to end it there, I want to say, imagine signing a playoff hitter who has hit 163 for $360 million. That's mind-boggling. But that's just my Yankee hate for the day.
Wow. Big shots at Aaron Judge. But I swear to God, if we called it with the Red Sox, I think we all said this on an episode, like I think a few episodes back. We said, wow, what if the Red Sox just sign a bunch of veterans and just do it all over again? And I'm just saying, what's up, Chris? How do you feel? What's on the top of your mind?
I'm gonna say that given Devers that contract, definitely needed to do that to keep some of the fan base. I think what we need to see from Devers now is a big World Series moment. I think that's what he needs, because my World Series moment of Devers is Game 1 of 2018 when he got subbed out for Nunez, and Nunez hit the 2-run home run. So that's what I want to see from Devers. And like you said, we got a crazy bunch of vets. Some of them deserve rings, haven't won rings yet. It could be who gets hot in October, and who's got the most experience. We might have the oldest team in baseball, but hey, could be a good year.
Whatever works.
We'll see.
You actually guys have had an underrated offseason so far.
But
the Nationals were the oldest in the league at one time, and they won the World Series, I'll have you know.
That's a throwback.
Damn.
I mean, you guys signed Jolie Rodriguez, Corey Kluber, Chris Martin, Justin Turner, Kenley, and Yoshida. Like, that's actually not a bad offseason.
Kylie Jenner.
Let's see, 90, 120. Like, that's almost 160 mil guaranteed. Like, that's actually not terrible. Not great, but it's not terrible.
Now I remember my real opening take. So my real opening take is, who the fuck gave Justin Turner number 2? I can see it maybe a year, 2 years from now, but the fucking same year Xander leaves? Like, come on. That's fuck Justin Turner. Like, honestly, he's a Red Sox. I'm saying fuck Justin Turner until he does something big. Fuck you, Justin Turner, for even taking number 2. Should have took I don't know, any other number but 2. Like, whoever Bloom probably signed off on it. Fuck Bloom too.
I thought you were gonna call him a fucking.
They offered it to him. They're like, "Here, take number 2, please."
Disrespectful.
No, right? Like, they were like, "How do you feel about wearing number 2? Let's go."
But I will say that it does give fans who can't really get another jersey, who might just have a number 2 jersey that's without Bogarts, they can wear it again and feel good about, Justin Turner. But me, fuck Justin Turner until he does something big.
Here you go, guys. Here's Justin Turner now you can wear.
We didn't re-sign Xander, but we got you Justin Turner.
Where the fuck is he going to play? First base? Second base?
DH. Probably DH.
DH.
Bullpen mop-up.
Maybe some first base.
Role player.
He played first for the Mets. So I see him playing first again.
Water boy.
He's actually their third base coach. I forgot to tell you.
I hope what they do with what you said and just fucking run Sasis at first base. Just like let him learn the game.
Flip flop, that'd be nice.
Look at Julio. Julio went from playing really terrible to playing great. Like, just let him learn. Maybe that's the way. Bring up these young kids.
I just love when the thought of Julio Rodriguez just comes back to my brain. It's like, we got Julio Rodriguez exists in baseball. It's great.
That's the blueprint, right?
23 cover.
Yeah, he's
Just
got to be
bring him
coming.
up.
Yo,
Let him learn.
that would be a sick nickname. That would be a sick nickname if they called Julio Rodriguez the Blueprint.
Doesn't he have a nickname
I,
right now?
I'm gonna pitch that to
Oh
him.
yeah,
I'm gonna pitch that to him. We gotta
yeah.
wait. We
We
gotta
gotta
wait
pitch
till someone
Papa
does something
Julio and
big.
the Blueprint.
Right, Papa Julio. That's right.
Yeah, but I don't think people call him Papa Julio. I think that's our thing.
I
Yeah,
thought like he had a nickname that people call him.
he does, but I'm just right now.
Big homie Jay.
What do they call him? J-Rod? J-Rod?
Oh, J
Yeah,
Rod.
J-Rod.
yeah, J-Rod. But come on, we got an A-Rod. Well, we got two of those A-Rod guys.
Yeah,
Both
it's just
crazy as
J-Rod.
shit.
That's what.
I mean,
That's his.
we had
That's his.
K-Rod at one point, so
We gotta pitch
Yo,
that to
speaking
him.
of K-Rod, like, do you think anybody votes for him? I'm seeing nobody vote for him to get in the Hall of Fame. What is going on, bro? He's a Hall of
Honestly.
Famer. I'm telling you, vote for
don't get
him.
me wrong, but Matty
This-
Ramirez should be in there too. Like,
This dude had the steamy glasses striking dudes out. Like this.
I like
This dude. Like what?
I was
wasn't he
actually.
beating his wife too?
He said he's
I don't
beating
know.
his wife.
Was it?
I think so.
You said he's beating his wife. Is that what you said?
I may have forgot about that.
Unless
That's a
I
random
forgot about
stat.
that story.
That's a Bauer stat.
I don't know if
right
that's
there.
going to get him into the Hall of Fame.
Allegedly. Case got dropped.
I tell you one thing though, I was listening to
Firehead,
today.
hothead fireballer K-Rod once beat his girlfriend so badly she had to be
Yeah.
hospitalized. Wow.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I
Oh,
remember
wow.
being in school and seeing that on my math teacher's fucking newspaper.
That probably
So
that could be
bad.
why. that
That's
could
such a
be-
deep
That
memory.
that is so specific.
Yo,
He probably
all the
remembers the
traumas,
exact date.
all the traumas of like abusers just stack up somewhere in the left referee in my head.
Yo, you know what I did
Like,
see?
Yo,
though?
I forgot about that. Never mind, Joe. Never mind. Keep him out.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
that's
maybe that's
why
why
he's
they're
not
not
in. Yeah, that could be it. I don't blame them. But you know what I will
They're
say
like, this
is I
doesn't
did
work.
see Pete Rose. Pete Rose was the first person in Ohio to make a mobile sports bet. First person to make a
As he
mobile
should.
sports bet, and he put $100 on the Reds to win the World Series.
Winning the World Series.
That would be the first bet. That is ridiculous.
Like the first bet ever made is a losing one. Ooh.
Welcome to Ohio.
Nah, they win the World Series. I'll be damned.
Imagine they do it. How much would he make? Like
If they-
100 bands?
Bro, $100 on that bet is probably like fucking 40 billion bucks.
You know,
Dude, what are their
If-
odds? Their odds have
if
to be
the-
like
Bro, I believe in the
28.
Reds like the least in the whole league. Like I believe the Pirates have a better shot than the Reds this year, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I
yeah.
agree with that too. I mean, Pirates got O'Neal Cruz. Like I like that dude. He's nice.
All right, let
Me
me
too.
pick a
He's
worse
nice.
team. I feel like the Tigers got a
A's?
better shot than the Reds.
It's Kansas City.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
The Reds are 30th on my list every year until they actually do something great.
The Nationals.
they got Hunter Green behind them.
But that's all. That's it.
Damn.
Colorado Rockies.
Mm.
I don't know.
But they
There's
hit a
so
lot
many-
of. They got the altitude. You never know. They could just be a sneaky little team right there. Joey Gallo was the most winningest player last year between the Yankees and the Dodgers. But that also brings up
Of course.
to me, with what Wulfy said about the rules and everything, it makes me wonder, right? We think dudes like Rizzo, dudes like Olsen, dudes like Gallo are going to do a lot better with the banning of the shift, right? I think about the other side. What about the dudes who come to the plate, have outstanding back control, like Freeman, like McNeil? What do they do next year? How do they strategize? Do they do worse or do they do
That's a
better?
great question. I think personally, it affects more righties than it does lefties, only because obviously there's more righties than there are lefties in the league. And if you see a lot of these righties that play, a lot of them are pretty much all pull hitters. So to see how the shift is gonna work. Like obviously they got rid of like having what is it like 3 to 4 players on one side of the fucking
I think it has to
spectrum.
be 2 on one side, 2 on the other, no matter
Yeah,
what. Yeah.
and
Yeah,
And
then
you
and
can't
you
go to
can't
so
be on the
the
regardless,
grass.
grass. Like you have to stay in the dirt.
mhm.
Yeah.
So regardless, they're still gonna have their own shift. It's just not gonna be as complicated as it used to be before. So they're still gonna work their way around having to work with these certain hitters that they already know that project to hit or like towards third. So who's ever is on third and short, you're gonna move more adjusted to that side of the spectrum and vice versa with lefties. But as much as everybody is talking about it working for lefties, I think it might also be a setback and be worse for righties than it is for lefties.
I
That's a
mean,
good
for
point.
me, I think it's just all the way back to the basics. You just learn to slap that ball right up the fucking middle again. I mean, I'm glad all this shit is over. Cause like for me, I'm tired of seeing all that crazy shit in the outfield. I mean, it's fun making fun of Joey Gallo, when they have literally the whole entire population of their team on one side of the field and the whole entire side of the field is empty and you still can't hit or
Right.
bunt to that empty side of the field. It is pretty funny, but at the end of the day, we're going to see a lot more hits. I think this is going to benefit guys like McNeil and Freeman more because the middle can't really be taken away from them. Because if you have to leave 2 people on each side of the field and you put someone in the middle, you're going to leave a humongous fucking hole either down the line or down the middle of that side of
Of
the field.
course.
So,
JD Martinez is going to have another breakout year. Remember, I said this because he has one of the worst shifts in baseball.
JD Martinez, you said?
Oh yeah, they shift him. He's one of the few players. Well, I don't want to say few, but somewhere within the spectrum of few and medium that they shift him up the middle because he hits everything up the fucking middle.
Oh wow, jeez, that's that. No, I agree with what both of you guys said so far. If anything, I think it's going to benefit these guys. I think someone like McNeil, at least for example, he's like so contact oriented. I mean, he's not like a Freeman who actually does hit like another like 30 home runs a year over like what McNeil does. So I think he'll be fine. I think it'll actually benefit some of these guys. If anything, like someone with McNeil, maybe if it does not benefit him, it'll only be for like a month or two just to get used to the old way. The one thing I'm really curious about, though, to see with 2 guys being on each side of the infield, are we going to see a lot more web gems? Are we going to see a lot more diving plays because guys aren't necessarily set up for the ball? So if guys are hitting it more to the gaps, those guys aren't, you know, right there. I mean, think about how many times guys hit it to the second baseman. The second baseman is right in the outfield, doesn't have to move. Now all of a sudden he's in the infield 90 feet closer, and he has to make that diving play. That's what I'm excited to see. We might actually be like seeing like guys that are like more useful because their gloves so good. I've been bringing that back again
Right.
too, other than just the bats being
But also, I think we're gonna see how bad a lot of these infielders
hot.
are.
That too, yeah, that's also the counter
True.
too. Exactly.
And we're gonna see a lot of injuries just because of them having to lay out, put more effort and whatnot.
I mean,
Or we might not see them go. Um, we might not see them go as crazy playing defense than we expect. But who knows?
do you think
Flip
guys
flop.
can't
might try
wait.
to hit contact more now and stay away from power because they think they're not getting screwed with the shift as much?
I think we'll see a lot
Possibly
of
yes.
I think we'll see a lot of contact in the beginning of the year. People enjoying that there's no shift, like Bellinger, Gallo, guys like that. They'll be spamming like weaker hits, trying to get their average up, and then once they finally get into a confident groove, because I think that's the biggest thing is it's going to be confidence. Because if you give a guy like Joey Gallo or Cody Bellinger their confidence back, yeah, Twins and Cubs, man. They are going to be 2
I
sleeper
was
teams this year. I'm calling it. Joey Gallo is going to be the savior of the Minnesota Twins. Joey Gallo is going to be the
Edwin
savior of the
Encarnacion is gonna come
Minnesota
back
Twins.
and go
No
crazy.
Christian
shift? Are you
Yelich.
kidding me? This guy is going to be a
Christian
monster.
Yelich. That's
Christian Yelich is going to be a monster.
maybe.
Dude, I
Juan
tell you one
Soto?
thing though
Rafael
is that like
Juan
Devers.
Soto,
Rafael Devers
he,
is
he
gonna
hit
go
a lot into the
crazy.
shift this year, Juan Soto did.
Devers
dude,
too.
think about how much of a potential though this has though to like Because I mean, personally, I think it's going to be maybe like a 10-point average here or there. Like guys, like instead of a guy hitting like 250, maybe he hits 260 or something like that. I don't think it's going to be too drastic. But imagine if it is drastic. Imagine all of a sudden you have a guy like Yelich that went from like 230 to like 300 again. You have a guy like fucking Vogelback that can hit like 270 again because he's not in the shift. Like, I'm not saying he's going to get double, he's slow, but. And then all of a sudden, imagine like a downside, like you said, Devante. Imagine all of a sudden like a guy like Pete where he's hitting like 270, 280-ish. Now all of a sudden he hits 250. Like, dude, there could be potential for a drastic change. I don't know if there's going to be, but I can't wait to see that, man. That's going to be huge.
Well, what do you think, Chris? You're the one that asked the question. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna just do my take anyway because we'll have to cut it
No,
out
yeah,
anyway.
go ahead.
I think honestly, for guys like Freeman, guys like McNeil, I think even though it opens up a little bit more space on the right field, I think not having that ability to go opposite field is probably going to be a little bit of adjustment. Yeah, they'll probably just adjust to go to the middle. I just think it's going to be interesting to see who adjusts, who pivots quicker, who adapts quicker. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm most excited to see is what players are what even just the strategies do we see the infielders maybe once the pitch is thrown, do we see them take a couple steps back against a couple people into the grass? Is that allowed? What's gonna, you know what I mean? The pitch count. I just think, I think has to be adjustments for
That's
those
so fun.
guys because those guys hit so good against the shift compared to the other players. It's just that advantage that they once had. Does it become more? Does everyone become more equal in a sense? Does Joey Gallo become, just like you said, does he become as good
The
of a
savior of the
hitter,
twins.
as fucking, as McNeil, or not saying he's going to, but I feel like it's going to be an adjustment for everybody. Pitchers, any position you play, it's going to be an adjustment. Besides, I mean, even the DH is an adjustment. You got to still adjust to the pitch count, or not pitch count, but the timer. There's the shift, the two abilities to throw over. It's all going to
Completely
be
agree.
crazy, especially in long at bats. What about dudes who go into long at bats like Soto? Soto's known to have long pitch counts, right? What if Xandar is, or whoever leads off is on first base, and Soto's at bat, and he brings them to 12 pitches, but you already threw over twice. Now that dude can get a big ass lead off of first base because you can't throw over again because you can only throw over twice in an at bat. So guys who can have good back control and can run up big pitch counts, I feel like those guys are going to be really beneficial because their base runners can have big advantages to steal more bases.
I think what makes the shift so interesting and also complicated for next year is how MLB will determine what baseballs to be used. Because imagine they start off the season with all these dead balls, and then they progress with the golden eggs and then flip flop, and that's what's gonna play a big ass role.
I wish they'd leave the balls alone.
Yeah, seriously,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I have my
I'm
balls.
just glad. I'm just glad that when it comes down to it, these Goldilocks balls that they're calling them were found in New York, and during Judge's home run breaking season because that makes me happy with our season last year. Like,
What
like,
What are
like,
you trying
It
to
all makes
say,
sense.
like,
Chris?
one, the Yankees didn't win the World Series. Two, that report came out. I'm like, hey, we had a better season than the Yankees had now at this point, right? Like, no scandals,
Nah.
no. We're scandalous.
I mean, we saw how bad they did with the dead balls too, which is crazy. That horrible streak they went on.
Hmm.
Say it ain't so.
Say it ain't so. But speaking of the Twins, man, Carlos Correa finally has signed a contract and it's finally official. So he signed with the Giants for a lot of money, but the Giants, they backed out fast. There was no drama whatsoever with that. Why? Because Steve Cohen thought he had the biggest balls in the universe, and he went and signed Carlos Correa for a similar deal, just a little bit less money, I think $40 million less than what he was going to get in San Fran. But then, hey, I don't know what the Mets were thinking. If something popped on the Giants physical, why wouldn't it pop on the Mets physical? It popped on the Mets physical, and then it all fell apart. But the Twins were just like, we don't give a fuck. And the Twins now have Carlos Correa yet again. I feel like as the Twins, they're shameless as shit. I'm just going to say it. The Minnesota Twins are absolutely shameless because last year, I think they were his last option. And this year, they were his super last option because he signed with 2 teams or agreed to 2 teams and still ended up with the Twins. I don't know, but they're shameless. I'm here for it. Like, the Twins are just hilarious to me.
It's a flex. He got cojones. Like, he really letting his nuts hang. And everything goes through. It's $270 million, bro. That's fucking... How many years? 6 years or was it 8?
6.
That's about almost, isn't it like 45 mil a year, some shit like that? If it's 270,
I think it's 200, but incentives bring it up to 270. But it's basically 270. I think it's basically like you have to play. Like that's incentives.
That's a lot, bro. Like he just ran away with that bag. Like he said, he wanted to go. You go into the Dior shop, you're looking for whatever you want to look for. If you don't got it, you don't got it. So
went to the Dior shop and picked up the broken necklace and fucking put it down, and then the Mets picked it up and then put it down, and the Twins were like, I don't give a shit.
By the way, you're right. That is, if he does hit the 270 incentive and does that and gets the 270 for 6 years, then it's 45 mil. Yeah. That's pretty.
Is he worth that much?
Fuck
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But then again,
what?
I would have known.
Yes.
$45 million.
Carlos Correa, yo, this Twins
what's
team.
What's Judge getting?
Yo, run back what Wolf said about Correa when he was a Met. Like, let's hear. Correa was the GOAT.
He got one of the
Oh, dude, I was excited, but we were paying him like $29 million a year. This is almost double that. Like, oh, not almost. Yeah, at least. Yeah. All right, 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you made my brain just collapse just now. I was like,
it's only $9 million more here than double, but you know what I mean. But still, that's a lot, man.
It's like 16 mil more. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Carlos Correa is not a Met. How do you feel about that?
It is.
I'll admit it's better now. I kind of saw this coming like a week ago. It does suck. Like I really wanted him. I guess just to look on the bright side though, like it was a long fucking contract. I think it was a 13-year contract or 12 or whatever the hell we were going to offer him. And considering that, the one thing that actually does make me feel better is the Giants backed out as well. We took a lot longer, and coming in to swoop him and not working out was more embarrassing. But the fact that 2 teams backed out of a $300+ million contract for over 10 years for him is making me wonder if something had to be wrong. Especially on our side, the fact that we went after a team or him knowing there was a problem, and even we were like, "Whoa, fuck that." Dude, like, his leg must be about to fall off. I swear, like, it's got to be that crazy.
His leg is built like a Twizzler.
Plus, with what Steve Cohen's done all this year with Verlander and Senga and Nimmo with those contracts, clearly he wants to spend money. So I don't think it was actually a money issue. Like, dude, there had to be something wrong. I'm dying to hear what the actual, like real report is. I don't know.
Dude, he's had a prosthetic leg this whole fucking time.
Yeah, like the HIPAA oath, like probably will, like you'll never hear about it. But like, I would just love to hear the inside.
He has arthritis in his knees.
Plus, at the same time, too, this also like I kind of say this actually in a selfish way, but like next year if we have free agency, like we can actually now have another position open to get someone. Like we're not locked down. Like we can get a Manny Machado now instead of just Correa.
Yo, if Manny Machado goes to the Mets, I'm just done. Like I'm just done.
I think this works out for the Mets because now that they don't have to pay him, that plays a big role. And now that we're gonna secure Ohtani-san at the trade deadline, and then we're gonna use some of that $300 million. And you're gonna be like, we have another $200 million here for you, $500 million. He's gonna be like, oh my god.
I think this gives the incentive to the trade deadline to be more aggressive than you would have.
No, man. I mean, Carlo, he would have finished off your guys' lineup. So, like, what are you guys gonna do now? Is Brett Beatty the answer?
No, you're
Well,
not Escobar.
this is how I see it. And if you're the Mets, what would you do with this? Say you have Brett Beatty, Francisco, and Vientos.
Nah, I confused you not Escobar for what's the other Escobar we had?
Eduardo. Bro, you said Yunel. I was like, God damn, what?
Yunel Escobar? Wow.
That's all the confidence.
Bro, he had a season with the Nationals and just didn't come back to the majors. That was it.
That's a throwback.
Damn.
He was like 31, and he went to the Nats and died. Something like that.
That's a throwback.
Thanks. For though.
But I don't know, man. This Twins lineup, it's like Correa, Buxton, Gallo. Damn, who else do they have? Oh, they got that.
Sanchez.
Huh?
That Arroyo.
Is Sanchez a free agent?
Yeah.
No,
Arraez.
That's what it is.
Oh yeah,
Luis Arraez or whatever it is.
Arraez, yes.
So they have a really cool lineup. You know, if they all wake up on the right side of the bed every day, they could win some games.
Well, here's my thing then.
If Buxton is healthy, they're gonna have a good playoff run.
Buxton was healthy last year, and he just did a whole lot of nothing. That was so underwhelming.
Right?
I thought he got hurt halfway through the season. Didn't he?
He got hurt for like 2 weeks, and then he came back and just continued to do nothing. He stole like 5 bases all year, hit like 220
I thought
or
he
something.
was hurt halfway through the season.
You know what's so funny? Actually, I just realized that the Twins are just getting the Yankees scraps like 2 years in a row. But by the way, the reason why I actually think now more am on the Guardians bandwagon going into this year after looking at this. Think about the Twins. They only got Correa back. They swapped Gary Sanchez for Christian Vasquez, and they swapped Gio Urshela for Joey Gallo, and that's it. That's all they did this offseason.
Well, Joey Gallo is going to be monstrously better than Gio Urshela, and Vasquez is way better than Gary Sanchez.
Right.
Plus, they already got rapport too. Rocco and Vasquez have a fucking, they played together, so.
Let's just say this: I don't think it's going to put them in first place and/or in the wild card.
Dude, World Series. Joey Gallo, bro. Joey Gallo is the savior in Minnesota, bro.
Series MVP.
He is the Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Twins.
Besides, they didn't resign their best player from last year, which was Chris Archer.
Wait, they re-signed him?
Wow. No, I said they didn't. That's why they're going to lose, and he's still free agent.
Oh, yeah,
bring him back. Then
right.
it's World Series bound for sure.
But the Yankees signed Carlos Rodon.
That is sweet. Dude, that is sweet. They have like one of the best rotations in baseball. Right? Cole, Rodon, Cortez, Sevy, and who's their fifth? I'm forgetting.
I don't know. You really consider that the best?
Montas. No. I still
dude that gives up 3 home runs every
Montas
game.
That is pretty bad. That is
65 ERA.
I do like their lineup, but I don't like their lineup because it's not gonna be good. They're not gonna be good.
Yeah, I don't like their lineup, but their rotation is pretty fucking nasty, in my opinion. Or has the potential to be nasty.
I think it is nasty. I'm just saying, like, I think Garrett Cole being around guys like Rodon and shit again, like, it's gonna make him competitive and not. I don't know. He was turning into like that rich white kid that you hate that lives up the block. Like, he was turning into that. I think like you need Garrett Cole to just be a dog. Not that preppy rich white kid that's just just making little.
Kermit Cole is never gonna be the same. He's never gonna be the same without Spider.
He also just had his second kid. Like, this dude's not getting no sleep. The Yankees aren't gonna be good next year. Come on now.
You can make the energy. They have 4 at 1 point ace rotation.
Frankie Montas as your number 5 is wicked.
Yeah.
No, I'll give the guy a good stat.
Yeah, but
he's gonna be so good.
Nah.
They just gave up the best closer.
Montas was the ace for the A's. Sevy was an ace at 1 point. Cole's their ace, and Rodon was the ace of the Giants. They have 4 at 1 point aces.
Yeah, but
that's like really fucking good.
Yeah,
but I also don't know if their health is
good. We ain't worried.
Is Nestor gonna repeat? Is Sevy gonna last? Is Cole and Rodon, are they going to be healthy all year? Rodon's actually had years where he barely pitched. So we don't
I
know.
don't think Nestor's gonna be the molester next year. I think he's gonna be the
They
molester.
also have to go.
I don't know.
They,
I'm curious. I don't think he can do it again.
I,
Me
What were
either.
you
I,
gonna say, Chris?
they also have to go through the Blue Jays this year, and I think the Blue Jays have just as equal of a pitching staff and a better lineup. So, nah, I don't
Facts.
think the.
Yeah,
I
because
Their
they
think
got
lineup's
they got
definitely. They
Manoa,
lost.
Gosman. They got Manoa, Gosman, Barrios, Bassett, and Ryu. And Ryu's gonna come back halfway through the year, so it'll be Kikuchi and then Ryu.
Let's
The
see.
Gucci, like
Wait, say that again. So they have Manoa. All right,
So
so
they got
Manoa.
Manoa, Gosman, Bassett, and Barrios. And Barrios, I mean, if he can get it together, that's
No
a
way is
that's
that rotation better than the Yankees. No way. Let's just say
I'm
this:
not.
it's
I'm not
not far
saying.
behind, but it's not like because Barrios just never freaking puts it together.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know
here's.
why. Like, what's
I
wrong with
think he's
him?
gonna do it
What's
this year.
wrong
But
with
that's
him?
I,
we're talking about on paper though. Like, I mean, 2 years ago, Kikuchi was really good, and Ryu was really good 2 years ago. So, I mean, they also have a better lineup than the Yankees. Like, nobody's scared of the Yankees. Like, they could go out and spend all the money they want. They're not going to win the
Rizzo
AL
better
East this
hit or
year.
his dog is gonna get kicked.
I don't think I'm
I
put
tell you
the
one thing.
Yankees
The
aren't
one thing
making
that
the
really hurt the
AL
Blue
East.
Jays this year was losing Teoscar Hernandez. That really hurt. They never replaced. They basically replaced him with Kevin Kiermaier, who hits like 200, and they
Well,
lost Loris Gurriel Jr.
just don't
They actually
forget that
lost
word,
some
la
players.
they
piña.
made these moves so that Espinal could be in the lineup because they had a situation last year where they couldn't even really play Espinal, and Espinal is wicked talent. I love that kid. Like Espinal is like really really good with the bat, but they couldn't really put him anywhere
But
because there was really nowhere to put him. So they did. I mean, I think they overdid it by trading Teoscar and Gurriel, but they needed to free up some space to get Espinal in the lineup.
The one thing, Chris, though, you are right because I actually think I said it when we first started doing the show. Is that I'm actually surprised, though, even from last year's standards, that the Blue Jays just weren't better. Like with all what they had, like how are they not a better team? It
I'm
just has to be
telling you,
their
it was
bullpen,
just a bunch of righties.
dude. Like they had Springer, Vlad,
Yeah,
Bichette,
true.
Teoscar, Kirk, Gurriel. Like how are they like not a 95 win team?
Their
Plus,
best
like you
lefty was
just said, their
I think
staff.
Bichette.
that
Like, dude, their staff.
Yeah,
I think their stadium plays a
they
role
also,
because they did
but
bad at home than they did away. They did way better away
It's
they're
than
got to be
home.
their
making
bullpen,
like
dude. They gave up 7 runs in the playoffs in the ninth
they're
inning.
they're also making like little moves that are really good too, like picking up Brandon Belt, who's a lefty, picking up the dude from the Diamondbacks, Varsho. They traded for
Varsho.
him, so
Oh,
Yeah,
they
but
are
no,
getting
you know
lefties.
what? I'll give you that, Chris.
they gave away their top
That was a
catching
solid.
prospect and they gave away Gurriel for that though.
Yeah, but don't they
They're
have
trying to
Kirk
win
and
it all.
Jansen still? So it's like Kirk and Jansen are holding it down back there, though.
Yeah,
But
but it's
what?
like when
I
you think about
completely
what they
forgot
could
about
have gotten
Varsho.
out
I'll
of
give you
that.
that.
But it's like,
What's up?
what moves are? What are they? Why are they making all these moves though? Other than trying to get somebody in the lineup, like, got to be a bigger move coming, right? Like, are they freeing up space? Like, you know, something's gonna happen.
They
They
really
gotta do
should have
it.
got
They're
more
trying to make
bullpen
sure
They
that they're
better
pieces.
they
not
better go
a
out and do
crappy
it
team.
because we can't see the fucking Yankees win the division this year. Like, I don't want to see that shit happen.
At all.
And I just think
It's
it
what
really
20,
sucks that
28 years in a
the
row.
Orioles didn't do anything.
Yeah, after it could.
Like I don't understand it. Like you said, like last year the Orioles were like, you know what? Like it was just out of nowhere too. They were like, you know what? We're done tanking. We're putting all the young guys in. We're gonna win some games, and it's finally gonna be lit in Baltimore. And then by the end of the year, they're like parading and just like, woo, we're a good team now. We didn't make the playoffs, but you know, Baltimore, we're to be taken seriously. And then they come into the offseason and they're like, yeah, we're going to go and we're going to be aggressive. And they signed Daniel Gibson,
Michael Gibson, yeah. Michael
whatever
Gibbons
his name is.
and Kyle
Kyle
Gibson. Yeah.
Gibson.
Da-
You
Yeah.
actually
Mikhail.
mixed them
Wait,
both
Mikhail.
together.
Daniel
Kyle
Gibson.
Gibbons and Michael Gibson.
I feel like Daniel
But
Gibson
no,
was
I know what you're
a
saying.
basketball player for the Cavs.
Like Mikhail Bridges.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, the Orioles, they just They didn't do it, and it was disappointing.
And what's dumb about that too is that like, especially with the rookies they have up, considering both of them played last year. Like, if you sign like say like a couple pitchers or like even a couple position players like 4+ year contract, in a year to 2 or 3 years, you'll have those players already, and then your rookies will be good to go. Like, because they'll already be like 2 or 3 years in the league and have experience. So it's like, are you waiting until like you see more from like what are they gonna do? Like go to the deadline and like maybe add a couple more pieces and be like, oh, we're getting right there each way. Like it's like, bro, just make the leap. Like stop like taking baby steps. It's ridiculous.
Nah, tell him. Tell him.
You
Tell
got
us how
that.
you really feel.
Being a Cincinnati Reds.
And
No,
then
dude,
when it
dude, they were 5 games behind in the wild card. Like even if they just made the wild card, so what? Like they have Adley, they have Gunner. Like
they could have easily overpaid for like Trey Turner. Like you're telling me they couldn't give like they couldn't like lure Trey Turner into Baltimore. He already loves the area.
They should get Trevor Bauer.
Chill.
To Baltimore would be nuts.
Nah.
But
Because then
yo,
if they
if you
make
go and you
playoffs-
go and look up the Tampa Bay Rays depth chart and go to the fan graphs link. I think it's the third one there. And then you'll notice that the first like 4 guys on that list, Yandy Diaz, Wander Franco, Randy Arozarena, and Brandon Lau, whatever, they all have the word "and" in their name.
Wow.
Yeah, one.
It's just like "and."
Boy, oh boy.
And that's exactly how I feel about the Tampa Bay Rays. And because honestly, I just feel like if the Rays keep making the playoffs, it's just robbery of fan bases, bro. Because they don't show up. Like, the fans don't show up. No one cares. They don't care about their stadium. It's gross every year. Like, I don't know. I feel like that little dome could be cool if they worked on it.
They gotta move.
So, quick question. Do you think, damn, I just forgot his name. The shortstop for the Rays?
Wander Franco.
Yes. Do you think he's a top 50 player in baseball?
50?
Top 50.
Yeah. I don't think he is.
I don't think top 50.
But I saw this on a Twitter thread, and I'm like, I don't think he's top
No.
50. He has the potential.
Potentially, yeah, but
potentially, I would say he's like top 70-ish.
he's on the wrong
70
team.
maybe.
Top
I don't know. He might even be
70-ish.
top like. I don't even know. He might even be more than that,
Bro,
dude.
They stole him with that
name
contract.
the
They stole that boy. Like they did.
Name the shortstops better than him.
You got
Trey
Bogarts
Turner,
at number 1.
Bogarts, Trey,
Lindor,
Correa.
Technically, Tatis is a shortstop. We're doing that, I guess.
Correa.
You said Correa.
Correa, yeah.
Technically.
The Squirtle. The
C.J.
flying squirrel.
Abrams.
Come on now.
I'm trying to think of like shortstops.
He made some.
I'll
he
tell
has
you, CJ
big
Abrams is
arms.
gonna solidify himself.
To be honest, Bo Bichette is probably better than him technically at this point.
Boba shit. Definitely. Definitely is.
I wouldn't go that
I'm trying
far.
to think of like who's shortstops.
Tim Anderson.
I mean, that's if we're talking top 10 shortstops, he's definitely top 10 shortstop. I'm talking top players in general. Because you got to think about pitchers too. If we're talking top
Corey
10
Seager.
players. Yeah, Simeon. If
I'll
he's
take
second,
Corey
he's
Seager.
second base in this.
Just because of what he's been doing in the playoffs and that crazy ass run.
I'm trying to think of like
And they won.
Ahmed Rosario is better. No, I'm kidding.
Dansby Swanson.
I mean,
He
last year
close.
he did good last year.
Did you guys say Jeremy
I-
Pena
I
yet?
think Dansby is better.
No, I like Wander Franco. I just don't like, dude. If we're talking like, there's so many players. Like, just
I just don't
even
like
if you
the
take the
Rays,
top
man.
best player from each team, there's 30 right there. Like,
Yeah. So my
would
point
put
is
Bobby Witt
you
Jr.
just
ahead of him.
we just named what 12 people better than him, right? So you times that by 9. That's 72. So he's not even in the top 70. He's like at least 75.
He's not even the
no,
best player in
no,
his team.
dude. I said he
That
might.
goes to show he's not even the best player.
I said he barely makes the top 100 after I said that.
No, I'm
he
just-
might not even be
yeah.
top 75.
Like we just disqualified.
No, it's
him.
just the Rays. Like I can't. It's like he's on the Rays. I can't get excited. Like if he was like a Cleveland Indian, I would be like Wander Franco, yeah. But it's just he's a Ray. It's just like
Dude, if he was like a
Can he
Yankee,
be traded? Is that
He
in
would be a good.
his
He would be
clause?
good Red Sox.
dude, if he was like a Dodger or like a Yankee or like anywhere popular, like
he'd be one of the
those
biggest
cities,
names in baseball.
He absolutely.
If he was in the Yankees, of course he'd be Top
Dude,
5
And
shortstop.
if he was a Yankee, he would ball too. I have a feeling like he'd be so
Nah.
good there.
in that small ass field, come on.
Oh,
bro.
Trade
dude, good
Switch
defense.
hitting.
Oh,
Let's not put this out there so the Yankees don't
Yeah.
get.
yeah,
fuck the
I'll
Yankees.
just steal from the
Natural.
Rays.
so they
Even
basically,
do,
so
like,
they
a
signed the
Cardinal.
Rays signed him for 11 years and 182 million,
Go.
which was 16 million per year. I feel like they just hit him up and they were like, yo, we're gonna offer him this contract. If he says yes, fuck it. If he says no, that's it. We don't got no more
course.
money for him. Hey man,
And
11
then
years,
the worst-
16 million per. How you feel about that, dog? And he was like, yeah. And they were like,
Well, you gotta say it in Spanish now. You gotta say it in Spanish now.
and it's antes
You
de me
know,
gana yo
he's
tiro
for
al momento.
160.
No, I'm just playing. I don't know how to speak Spanish. But
He said 116 million. He said, ¿cuánto es eso en español? 116 millones. Digo, diablo, eso es mucho. Which means, damn, that's a lot of fucking money. But that's still not a lot of money.
Right.
He probably 16. He was just like, hell yeah, let's take that shit, and not even counting like how much it's gonna be every year. But they stole that money. Sooner or later, you're probably hear him complain about it, just like fucking Acuna's complaining that he got underpaid.
Oh yeah, whatever happened with that? He just like argued about it, and that was it. They like shut him up. They gave him some fucking
He's
money
gonna
under
ball
the
out
table.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if they're working on trading Acuna on the low?
No.
Dude, that team did
But
jack
that's what I was asking.
shit.
Is that possible?
Trade him to the Red Sox, if
His trade
anything.
clause?
Trade him for Seabold.
Every day we up, be like, to the Red Sox.
Bro, we're back in it. We're back in it. I got a little tiny
Oh
glimmer of
my
hope,
God.
baby.
You see the numbers he has against the Red Sox. That's the best team. Like,
Rivals.
come on.
By the way,
It'll be between the
you
Red
guys want to
Sox
hear
and
the
Yankees getting it.
wildest thing this year, just to show you how fucking cheap the Atlanta Braves are, in my opinion. I understand they're good, but it doesn't mean they're not cheap. Saxby's team spent almost double what the Atlanta Braves spent this offseason.
Cause we coming
Dude,
back,
it's a sign,
baby.
It's a sign everybody,
I
right?
told
Dude.
you, bro.
This is what the Braves did. They signed Jesse Chavez for 1 year, 1.2 mil. Ahiri Adrizana for 1 year, 1 mil. That's 2.2. Nick Anderson for 1 year, 875,000. Jackson Stevens for 1 year, 740,000. So that's not even $4 million in players they signed this offseason.
I think they ran
Yeah,
away.
but they also
with everybody that they re-signed, especially.
they also traded for Murphy and gave him a dirt contract too. They were like, "Yeah, come take out."
That's what I'm saying. Like,
come over
my
to
point
us
is
and
they're
we'll give you
just
shit.
being cheap still. Like, how are they doing
I'm
it?
telling
Like,
you, there's gonna be a nasty scandal that comes out in like 5 to 10 years that says like the Braves offered these guys like fucking just some crazy shit on top of their contract. Cause I don't get it. I don't get how they get away with all of these contracts. Yeah, the years and the guarantee is great, but there's just something in there that's just making them all say yes. I don't know if it's like women. It's going to be something crazy, bro. I'm telling you. Like, the Braves are up to no good, and we got to cancel the Atlanta Braves while we can.
and you know what drives me nuts?
I got another question. So
What's up?
when Rafael Devers signed for 330, people I saw in threads were trying to say that Austin Riley was underpaid as a comparison.
That's Atlanta. That's their business.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think he? I think that was a steal.
Bro,
in
Riley
my
knew
opinion,
his
but at the
fucking
same
worth.
time,
Riley knew damn well if he hit free agency what he was going to make, but he decided to stay in Atlanta. That's on him. They want those cheap ass contracts, and I know I'm insinuating that the Atlanta has like some crazy like fucking sex trafficking thing going on. I know I didn't mean that, but like I don't know. There's something on top of these contracts. I'm telling you, because there's no way Acuna, a superstar in this fucking league, when he signed that contract, sat there and thought that that was a good idea.
he didn't know better. Just like Wander Franco. You gotta remember, these are Caribbean kids that just see
But
the
yeah,
numbers
he
and
has,
like,
bro.
holy
But
fuck,
he
I'm
has
this
Freddie
young
Freeman in
kids.
his ear, about to hit free agency in a couple years, and like all these other guys.
You didn't see that he was beefing. You didn't see that he said he was beefing with Freddie Freeman because Freddie Freeman is the grandpa of baseball. Everything has to be like, respect the game. Don't bat flip. The fuck you bat flipping for? Well, you got these chains. Why the fuck are you chewing on seeds?
Yo, imagine if
What
Freddie
am I
Freeman
supposed
was
to
like
do?
that every fucking day that Acuna like came in and walked in the clubhouse. Freddie Freeman was just like, oh, there goes that guy again. Like, just fucking
I
chains
can
and his
see it.
fucking high socks. Fuck this guy.
God. Fuck
Oh
Freeman.
man. So
I got down the rabbit hole with that Braves thing, by the way, just to show you how bullshit it is, too, because you brought up the Sean Murphy thing. That guy, Nick Anderson, they signed for not even $1 million, right? I don't know if you guys remember him. He's the guy that was
he was a big closer
for
on the Rays, right?
Of course.
Right? Dude, all right,
Yep.
so last year he had like he was mostly in the minors. He was like a 4.5.
Well, he had Tommy John, I remember, like twice.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, so the year before that's actually when it started. So he only pitched 6 innings, had a 4.5. In 2020, he had 19 games pitched with a 0.5, a 0.5. Year before that, a 2.1, and the year before that, a 3.1. Year before, a 3.3. How is a pitcher like that getting signed for less than $1 million? Not even just with the Braves, but anybody. Like, no one gave that guy like $4 mil, $3 mil, like even nothing, like not even $1 million. I don't get that.
Cash.
Told you, bro.
Maybe I'm
I
missing
think
something.
he didn't want to test the market, especially with
Cash.
his injury report and saying that he might get paid less. And
Here's a
whatnot.
manila
That plays a role,
envelope
yo.
of cash. Or they're getting like
Just straight
maybe
cash.
they get revenue.
Not
They
even a
could be getting
check.
like revenue share, something like that. That's a
The Braves are known for cheating. I mean, remember they got stripped of all those free agents and shit that one time because they fixed the overseas free agent. I have to recheck my history on that. But they did some crazy thing where they lost like half of their entire farm system, and they still ended up with this nasty team. I hate that. What are they getting away with? This is disgusting.
Well, that was the thing. I think it actually had to do with Acuna. I think it was something like tampering with the international draft or something like that, or doing something.
Yeah,
like
they did something wicked with the international free agent.
But they got to keep all the players. That was the thing. It was only the GM that got suspended, and they actually just
they lost half of their. They lost half.
Houston got in trouble with them.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think Acuna was part of that. They were able to keep him. But I'm saying their GM just got suspended for life, and then he actually just got reinstated like a couple days ago.
You're such a grinder as a farmer, dude. I respect you, bro.
Damn, how did he just got reinstated after being banned for life?
Like a couple days.
But Pete Rose can't be in the Hall of Fame? What kind of shit is that?
Nope. Nah, not at all, man.
And you saw the letter he wrote to fucking Rob Manfred, and Rob Manfred was like, fuck
I'm gonna always say no to Pete Rose for the Hall of Fame, but it's non-baseball reasons, non-reasons that I'll speak on the podcast. But my biggest question to you guys here, and I know I keep saying my biggest question, but my biggest question to you guys is, out of all the kind of minor signings, lesser ones that didn't really hit the headlines, which one is your guys' favorite?
I'll be honest. I actually looked at the list before we started this, and I was like, what's really an underrated signing is Nathan Eovaldi with the Texas Rangers. And hear me out. Bro, and hear me out. Like, Nathan Eovaldi is like not even expected to be like their best pitcher now that they have DeGrom. But over the last 2 years, now they've added DeGrom, Nathan, Martin Perez, which you guys are all a fan of. He pitched fucking crazy good last year. They have Heaney they just brought in. And they have Gray from last year. I think, I don't know if I just said that before. So they have those 5 guys. Jonathan Gray. So they have those 5 guys in their rotation. Plus they have a couple of guys that actually pitch throughout the year that like Glenn Otto, he can just fill in for like a 5th role. Like, that's fine. But those 5 right there, if they're healthy, which is actually one of their bigger concerns is health, especially with Gray and DeGrom. And I guess Eovaldi too. Bro, that team actually has a solid rotation. You could make the argument they almost have the best rotation in that division if they all click right. Like Perez, Heaney, DeGrom, and Nathan.
And the reason why I agree with that,
Nathan Eovaldi is the only person suffering from fucking dead bodies. That's so gangster to say.
What?
And I agree with it because
called dead bodies.
Oh.
The way I feel is that like the Rangers, I felt like that was the one thing that they were missing to compete this year was just the bridge, because like for the Rangers, the most important thing for them is they need to bridge their rotation from what they got going on now to when Kumar Rocker and Leiter are in there, Jack Leiter, and I think this was the perfect sign. Like you couldn't have signed a better pitcher.
I fucking love Jack Leiter.
there's a rumor that happened. I don't know, right before the show started. I don't know if you guys heard it with the Rangers. I completely forgot to fucking bring it up. There's a possible trade that might happen with the Rangers in the next couple days. Jack Leiter might actually be involved in that. They're not too sure yet, but they're
Nationals?
possibly going to get the Brian Reynolds from the Pirates.
Oh,
So that would be
Yo,
sweet.
Pirates would be. Yo, do it, Pittsburgh.
Because
do it.
now you have the full rotation: Seager, Garcia, Simeon, and Reynolds as your like 4 prime guys. It's not even including like Keem and Lowe that they have. Dude, that's a solid team, man.
I don't know. I wouldn't throw that away for Brian Reynolds though. I mean, I like Brian Reynolds. I just don't think he's worth Jack Leiter.
You already got a good.
I do too. Well, like I'm just saying, like throwing out names out there, but
no, yeah, for sure. That would be crazy.
That'd be a great spot for him, man. That would be such a good spot for him. They could use that so bad.
Because teams are gonna get bored. They're about to start trading. This is about to get even better this offseason.
Just getting started.
I think this is going to be the next best decade for Texas as a whole, only because you have Nathan, who's big Texas everything. Like he's a native from out there.
Bro, all the natives just decided to come to Texas, bro. Jacob DeGrom,
and then now you're gonna have arguably one of the best pitchers of the last generation, which is so like that puts a chip on all their shoulders. 2024 next year's All-Star game. They're gonna host the All-Star game and make it to the fucking playoffs.
And not for nothing, like Corey Seager, I know he hit 245, but like a lot of our favorite hitters hit 245 or worse last year. Like it was a tough year to be a hitter in the major leagues. But Corey Seager, like he still gave you 33 home runs, 83 RBIs. His walk to strikeouts, it was still decent in comparison. His OPS was way down, but I think overall Corey Seager's going to have a lot better of a year than he did last year, and Simeon, it's not going to be hard to have a better year than he had. So, I don't know. I like what the Rangers have. I think they're going to be a sneaky wild card threat. I don't think anyone's beating the Astros. But if you were to ask me where I think the West stacks up right now, I would probably put the Astros number 1, and I would put the Rangers number 2. I would honestly take them over the Mariners right now because I still don't feel like the Mariners did enough. I feel like the Mariners just kind of rolled over and just did. I mean, they got Teoscar, but there was a lot more to be done for Seattle, and they just didn't do it.
They really didn't do too much, to be honest. They really didn't.
It was kind of disappointing. Because, I mean, I don't think you can sit here and say, like, Seattle, like they're going to be okay with the team that they had. So they got Teoscar Hernandez. Like, they needed to fill out that hitting so much more than they did.
If the Rangers weren't so far behind, I would have said they could probably compete a little bit more with the Mariners this year. I don't see where the Mariners go from here other than the fact of, like, doing nothing. Like you said, they got a couple players that, like, added in, but, like, is that going to be enough to, like... If anything, like, they'll probably get in the wild card again, but, like... Are they going to beat the Astros, the Yankees, even the Guardians? Like, I don't know.
They'll beat the Yankees. They actually do good against the Yankees.
They did good against the Mets last year, too. By the way, should kind of like counter because you guys said you were going to talk about Evaldi, too. You know what's actually a couple underrated moves from a team that you guys actually been liking so far recently in the last couple of years? Is the Diamondbacks signed 2 guys. One of them I actually didn't even realize they signed, which was Evan Longoria. They also signed Miguel Castro, which was the relief pitcher from the Yankees, and he played on the Mets the year before, who's actually pretty good. For a team that's rebuilding, those are 2 cheap projects because it was like $3 and $4 mil. That those guys definitely could be trade bait at the deadline, to where they could like ship those guys off and just keep rebuilding, getting more prospects back. So like, if we're really going at the bottom of the barrel, like sneaky good moves, like that actually isn't too bad of moves to make. Like a $1 mil and $3 mil, or a $3 and a $4 mil deal for decent guys that you could ship. I'll take that.
I think the Los Angeles Dodgers ran away with one of the best underpaid hitters, being J.D. Martinez. One, because Mookie Betts advocated for this, and if you know, Mookie Betts and J.D. Martinez are one of the best core hitters of the Red Sox back in their days. Aside from that, he is coming back to play and be taught by his old hitting coach. And with the shift now being changed, I think he's really gonna look like vintage JD and gonna fuck baseball in the ass sideways.
I just realized you guys actually swapped DHs. Justin Turner,
From the people in
JD.
the state.
Damn.
What a swap.
Damn.
Yo, Chris,
I don't
what's
like
your
it.
what's your
Damn.
favorite lesser headline move so far?
I'm gonna go with two signings. I'm gonna go with Bell and Cruz for the Guardians. I think that was what they needed. They needed home run hitters, and they got them. I think they're on. That's exactly what they need. That's what they were lacking versus the Yankees. And they got good vets with experience, and it fills up the lineup. Should be got the ace. How about that? I think that's what they needed, man. I think it's good signings. Like home run hitters, let's go. Like what else do they need now? They got a young team, they got their couple vets they needed.
They're a team if they had a couple stars like a Bogarts or something like that, or Devers, a bigger name. I'm not saying Soto would go there, but like a Soto. If they just had like a couple more big bats to give JD or J-Ram the protection, I think they'd be good. It's kind of like when they had Lindor there too. Like they were like so solid of a team that they got all the way to the World Series. Like they just had a couple more star players on that team, they would be so fucking good. They're so close, and they have the manager already too. So it's like just keep going.
Terry!
Manager of the year again. Who runs it back?
Dude,
So I mean,
I tell you one thing, that team could have used Carlos Correa.
I love the Guardians. Don't get me wrong; they're probably my AL Central pick at the moment. But I really do love the White Sox move to get Andrew Benitendi. I think like Benitendi going to some teams, I probably would have said it was an overrated move. But him going to the White Sox, I think, really fills in that lineup. And I'm not saying he's gonna fill in where Jose Abreu left, but Jose Abreu was only getting older. So I don't know how much he would have been able to give the White Sox in comparison to the two. So I don't know. I personally like Benintendi because, yeah, I mean, putting him around Eloy, Robert, just filling in that lineup, Moncada, Tim Anderson. It's gonna be up and down. It's gonna be a lineup that's gonna be stressful to get through if they can stay healthy.
Is he the highest paid in the White Sox history, or is it just as of now he's the highest paid?
All right, yeah, never mind. I don't like that play.
Wait, highest
Did he
paid?
get the bag like that?
Nah, he got a bag for that team. If I'm not mistaken, he's the highest paid throughout the whole team. But I don't know if he's the highest paid throughout their like.
I'm not gonna lie, you might be like worried about that. Because I mean, in recent history, there's not someone I'm thinking of.
Do the White
Because
Sox?
they have a lot of
so many people
rookies.
really.
The White Sox
Yeah.
really don't sign anybody, and I'm just realizing that now.
They don't.
No, because
Yeah,
I just saw the article. So it says Andrew Benintendi and the White Sox agreed to the franchise's largest contract given out, and it was 5
I
years
remember
and
reading about that.
$75 million. And
Wow.
That's fucking wild.
That's wild.
it's
that's
got to
not
be
a
Frank
big contract
Thomas
at
as their
all.
other.
And then I sit here and I'm like, wow, yeah, the White Sox
Yeah, but Frank Thomas
they don't
was
be out there like that in
6
free
years ago.
agency.
That's like
No, dude, not
the
at all.
Rays. The Rays just gave out their highest contract
Yeah,
this year.
which is
It was like-
it's actually the highest free agent contract because they have the Franco one, but it's the highest one they got on the market though. But
The
even
highest-
they're not as
Who was it?
so technically
The
they're
highest
cheaper.
deal the highest deal they've ever given out in free agency.
Yeah, but so technically the White Sox are
Who they
cheaper.
give it to?
Fucking Zach Eflin. They gave him like 40.
What was that deal
30
like?
something
2
40-year-old.
years?
It was something weird.
What was their
It's
the
44.
ace's name that he got hurt? John
Which one?
McClanahan or
for the Rays.
Glasnow?
Glass now. Is he in his last year?
I don't know if it's his last year, but most likely from what the reports are is that they're most likely going to try to ship him and McClanahan. I'm actually a little surprised they
probably
haven't yet.
If he doesn't, yeah.
Glasnow,
Everything
he's gonna go to the
before that.
bright lights of the Los Angeles Angels, probably.
Probably gonna go to the Yankees, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing too. Just when you bring up the Rays in general, like Glasnow and all these players, like that's why I'm a little curious. Like, what the hell's going on with the AL East in general? Like, that's why I thought you guys had kind of an underrated season. Because if like the Red Sox can overtake the O's, they didn't do anything. The Rays didn't do anything, and they actually got rid of some guys and are possibly trading more. Like, yeah, the Yankees got some better pitching. Like you said, Chris, their lineup isn't great. Toronto's pretty good, but like, you guys seem to play well against them. Like, I don't know, man. Like that division is just like so such a weird state right now. Like I don't think the Rays are going to repeat what they've been doing the last couple of years.
Yeah, maybe. And I think they actually have an understanding for that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think they kind of know that too.
I think the Red Sox just need to suck it up and trade Seabold and just get it over with and bring in somebody to bring him over the top. Because, dude, I mean, if Sale comes back healthy, like...
We forgot to talk about Bayo on the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I kind of miss Sale pitching like what he should be. Like, dude, he used to be one of the best pitchers.
I don't want him to be traded. I'm saying, like, he's another pitcher that we have up and coming for the Red Sox that I think he's really going to turn out this year as it was opposed to last year and all the pressure he had. I actually think he's going to do a lot better now, especially having worked this whole offseason with Pedro Martinez and stuff like that. He's somebody to fear.
Or more confidence.
So what about the guys that are left? There's like nobody left, but there are some gems.
McCutcheon.
Jurickson Profar.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. I didn't know he was a free agent.
Adam Duvall's left. He's pretty good.
Fucking lie.
Where do you guys think someone like Jurickson Profar is going to go?
Cincinnati.
No, I think he's actually going to go to a contender. Like, he's actually pretty solid of a player.
He's a baller, man.
He's good.
I don't, like, he's someone that can just fit onto pretty much any roster. That's a good point. The reason why it's hard to say, too, is because if he was going somewhere assured he would go right now, I think he might just be like a late add-on to, like, I'm not saying just the Mets, but
back
like,
to Texas?
I was just trying to get something. Or Texas, yeah.
Well, this guy has it's just, for me, he had such an unfortunate career because he was like a number one prospect. I was hyped. I was like one of his biggest fans in like 2012 for no reason, or 2014, whatever it was. And then all of a sudden he just destroyed his shoulder rolling over in bed. And then he hurt it again, like stretching in the shower or some shit. Or he slipped on an ice cube. I don't know. This guy had some Jurickson Profar. So he was the number one prospect in baseball like mad long ago, like 2013 type shit. But then he hurt his shoulder and then he like actually tore it completely off the bone rolling over in bed. And then while he was recovering, I think he slipped on it. He slipped in the shower and tore it again. So he was out for like 3 years.
He's gonna do better.
And then he's back.
That's like crazy.
You gotta remember, fucking, what's his name? Salvador Perez.
Why do I know this shit?
His ass. Salvador Perez busted his ass on his suitcase and just like injured himself. I feel what was it?
Yeah, you're right, because I'm pretty sure I had him in fantasy that year too, and I was so fucking pissed off, dude. Like,
how do you bust your ass on a suitcase?
And it happened in like March too, so it was like right at the worst time. Like, it sucked. It happened like
Oh, someone went on the DL. I forgot who it was. For sneezing. Hold on.
Sneezing.
Yes.
I don't believe you.
One moment.
I'm trying to think of weird DLs any Met guys have had.
Yo, you know where I think Profar's going? He's going to the
Cubs,
Astros.
Brandon Morrow.
Was he taking over whose spot?
Shit, yeah.
It was Brandon Morrow. So Brandon Morrow, he I guess it was like a freak accident because he was taking his pants off and he pulled his back and like he sneezed and pulled his back.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not
Christ.
I'm not gonna lie though, like I've definitely like one time I went to pick up a piece of paper and I fucking pulled my back, so I'm not even hating on that dude.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna name a team, and you guys all have to give me a grade not of the offseason, but of where they're at currently, A to F. And you just got to give me your honest grade that you could think of off the top of your head. Organic reactions. Ready?
So what the fuck is E? E for everyone?
No, no.
Who's going to rate anyone an
Don't
E?
know what grade.
I mean, you said A through F, so
E, wait, E for empty?
No, fuck that. No, A through F. What the hell? You get an E in school? What is an E? Effort?
extra credit.
No, that's a good idea. Just
All right, so ready?
There you go.
New York Yankees.
A.
C plus.
B minus.
C plus. Wow.
You said-
I like the C minus.
I give him a
Yeah,
straight.
no.
I'm
B minus,
going.
C
I'm
plus.
going B.
I'll go B plus actually. Not an A. B plus.
Because they need to do a lot better with their hitting. Because I don't know,
They
Aaron,
got
it's
no
gonna
hitters.
be a whole.
Exactly.
It's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, you know, you're right. I'll
No
give him a
fucking
B.
hitters.
I'll still give him a B plus though. I think they're still like good.
All right.
players.
Boston
All right,
Red
so
Sox.
it's we rate them at
C
A
plus
D.
a D.
for these nuts.
A D.
A D.
A D.
I'll give it a C plus.
I'm going D
Same.
plus.
These nuts. C plus.
they didn't sign Bogarts. Story's hurt. They got a bunch of oldies. D.
Yeah, no, that Trevor Story getting hurt is just like such a Red Sox thing at this moment. But all right, Toronto Blue Jays.
B plus.
B minus.
I'm gonna go B. Just a straight B. Just a straight.
I'm
B.
going A minus.
Ooh,
And the
wow.
reason I'm going A minus is because I think like just another year of Vladdy. I think Vladdy's gonna just be that much better this year, and I think it's gonna
Vladdy
propel
Diamond.
them.
They need
I think
more
it's
goals.
I think it's definitely gonna propel them. All right, Tampa Bay Rays.
I'm gonna go C.
C minus.
Just because, as much as I want to give them a D, because they don't do anything, they never do, and they're always good. So I'm just gonna go C.
C minus.
Chris,
C plus. C plus.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go C plus as well because it's like they still got talent everywhere. You know, it's the Rays. They still got their talent. You just don't know. It's like what Wolf said. It's just they're good. So it's just
C for
Exactly.
consistent.
C plus. Yeah.
C's get you degrees.
C for
C's get
consistent.
you
There you
C.
go.
and that plus because they somehow could make the playoffs. So it's just there you go.
C for can we get them a new fucking stadium and fan base, please? Okay. Baltimore Orioles.
D.
I'll give it a straight
Yeah,
C.
I gotta go D. As much as I'd like to lean F, I'm just gonna go D.
I go straight C because I think that even at a C, they're still better than probably, I'd say, 8 teams off the top of my head.
I thought you were gonna say the Red Sox.
Yeah, I'm going C as well, just because like they're gonna have more prospects coming up, so I think by default they'll be in a position where they could win if they want to again, like they did last year.
With the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
You ain't getting better, you're getting worse.
Say that again.
If you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
The Orioles.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think at the same time, like, did they like? Obviously, you want to go out and have a good free agency in the position that they're in, but did they really have to though? That's the whole thing, because like they did get like they're gonna have more younger guys. Like they're gonna have Grayson. They're gonna have a lot more than what they had last year.
You know what it is though is, and I know I'm being a little harsh. I guess it's that I see like a team like the Mariners or even the Phillies. The Phillies are a different story because they spent money, but even like the Mariners, where they have these prospects coming up and they got to the playoffs and like the Mariners got passed around. So I see like with the Orioles when you're only like 3 to 4 games out and you have some of the top prospect rookies that actually are already doing well, like just add on a couple more pieces. Try to at least get in the playoffs, get them some experience. Who knows what can happen? Once you get in, man. You never know. So I feel like what's the wait?
They did get.
It's not like they're saving
that
money.
first
Like
baseman. They just got that first baseman from the Royals.
Who?
For cash.
no,
His name's Ryan O'Hearn. They traded
oh,
for
yeah,
cash.
that's right. Jesus.
Straight
No,
cash.
it's
That sounds like an Orioles ass name. Like that sounds like a
Say
player that would
watch,
play
bro.
for the
he
Orioles.
used to he had like a couple good stretches, like a month or two, but yeah, that's random. I didn't know that. Anyway,
All right, so Kansas City Royals.
F, just F. That's the first F for me. They're so trash. They don't do anything. Bobby, they have some decent prospects, but dude, they're just, ugh, there's no future for them. F.
Yeah, I'm honestly. I just looked at their depth chart. I'm going F.
I'm going D
I went
minus.
that one Pascalino cutter that came up or whatever his name is, and then Witt's pretty good, but other than that,
Devante.
F, same thing, bro. You got rid of Benitendi. You're probably gonna get rid of fucking. Did they get rid of Bob Myers? No, not Coño, what's his name? Merrifield.
Remember when Will Myers was
they
supposed
got
to be
rid
the
of.
next best thing?
I forgot Whit Merrifield's in Toronto. Actually, damn, they got a pretty good lineup then too.
Oh shit, I forgot.
They just got Salvador Perez now. That's it.
Yeah, they didn't even sign their boy Zach Greinke back. Tisk. So yeah, F.
Word.
All right,
DBacks,
so
Zach
Detroit
Greinke.
Tigers.
F. Man, that's
F.
another F. The whole division's basically an F.
D minus.
C minus.
I don't know. I think I might surprise some people here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with.
Don't you dare say fucking B.
What? No, I think I'm struggling between C minus and D plus because I think if I'm gonna pick like that one sneaky team that I feel like is not gonna make the playoffs, but they're gonna win games, and we're gonna talk about them like we were talking about the Orioles last year. I think it's gonna be the Tigers, and that's just because they have a lot of their prospects coming up, and then they're gonna have Casey Mize back, and then it's gonna be better for them. And they were they were causing some shit at the beginning of last year. Don't forget that.
They're gonna
One.
do.
Yeah.
They're gonna do what the Orioles did and switch the landscape of the outfield again because of how bad it's been for them hitting wise. No, I'm that serious. They reported that today that they're changing the landscape of.
Well, I mean, but Comerica is huge for no reason.
Yeah,
I like it like that though, especially I'm movie the show.
Pause. But all right, the Minnesota Twins.
C minus.
C.
I give him a C.
You said C
Give him a
minus?
C. Give him a C.
I give him a C.
I'll give him a C plus.
C.
I almost said B minus, but they're just not a B to me. I'll get C plus. So they're trying.
I'm going C minus. They're just shameful or shameless. I don't know. I don't know where this Correa signing is gonna bring them, but it just doesn't feel right. Nothing feels right about it.
You guys got me on the Joey Gallo bandwagon. Him, Gallo, and Bucks are gonna lead that team.
The Three Kings, who would have thought? Who would have thought? All right, the Chicago White Sox.
I'm gonna say
F.
a B.
C.
I'm gonna say B minus. As much as I want to give them a C, it's either that or C plus because they have good players still. They have Anderson, they have Roberts, they have Jimenez. Grandal had a terrible year though, but their pitching is good. They have Cease, Giolito. I'm gonna go Lynn. I'm gonna go C, B minus. They have potential still.
Devante? No, I'm the same way. Cause I'll go. I'll pick. I think I'm gonna agree with you on. You know what? I'll give them a B. I'll give them a B. I'll be cool. I'll be fair with the White Sox. I just think not having Tony La Russa is just gonna be inspiring enough for them to have a good year.
Yeah,
honestly.
They lost Jose Bree, which kind of sucked.
And they kind of lost Liam Henderson too, Hendricks. So that's also gonna play a role for them to ball out in his memory and shit like that.
Yeah, the whole division's a weird division.
He's not dead, bro.
I know he's not, but still, like,
I was
getting that
trying not
shit
to
from the
laugh, but like
Has he been missing any?
he was just like they lost him. They're gonna ball out at his back.
Nah, but it's honestly gonna be the same thing as Trey Mancini.
No, yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. So next up is obviously the Cleveland Guardians.
I'll go at A minus. The thing is with them, we actually talked about it all year, and it's almost like they listened to us. It's like we looked at their stats and we're like, they need power. They need power in that playoff game. Like Chris, you said it all year, and the fact that they went out and they got Bell and Zunino, two guys that are sluggers primarily. I think that was a good step forward. Plus, they're still rebuilding. They traded guys like Lindor recently. They have rookies in their pitching staff coming up doing well. So I'm just gonna go like A minus. Like plus I like their manager. Like they won the division last year, had 90 games. Like I can't hate on what they're doing. Clearly it's working, and they locked up Jose on such a cheap deal. So I'm gonna go A minus.
I say A minus too, because they took the Yankees 4 fucking games
Shit, they're almost an
with
A.
everybody they have, and they just fucking added Josh Bell, big bat. He says Zunino, right?
Yeah, Mike Zunino for catcher.
He's fucking ass, but he could hit bombs. So
Yeah, dude, he's like a 200 hitter, but I'll hit like 30 home runs.
he'll give you 35 bombs, and he's batting like 200.
They got him projected to hit 195 this year.
They also have.
Dude, I had him in
they
fantasy
also
one
have-
year, and that's all we did.
I'm going. It's tough because I don't like the rotation past Bieber and Tristan still. I'm going.
Yeah,
Nice.
Karen Cock.
What did I give the What did I give the White Sox? I said a B plus.
A
You
B.
gave him a B, I think.
Oh, B.
Yeah, B.
All right, so I'm going a B plus for the Guardians because I think they're better than the White Sox, but I don't know. I feel like they're a pitcher away. They're a pitcher away from being an A. That's just my opinion. And I know, call me a hater because I'm always saying the Guardians are something away, but I think they're a starting pitcher away.
Beating the Yankees.
I'm going B
They
plus.
needed. Imagine if they had Josh Bell. They probably would have beaten the Yankees.
I mean, but it's the Yankees in the playoffs. I mean, like once the Yankees make the playoffs, it's like you can just count them out. Sucks, but
I like that. I like
like it's just like you just know it's ready for a disaster. Like it's just like the Mets.
Plus, they have a.
But,
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going with an A minus actually instead of my B plus, because I think they have the best setup closer combination.
Sure.
I can't
For
think
sure.
of who else is. I can't
They
think
have
of
a
anyone who else is
solid
better
bullpen, to
than.
be honest.
And I think
Brazier
I
and
think
Kenley.
I think Cale Quintrell was really good down the stretch, like down, and when the games kind of started to
Q-Trill?
matter, he was fucking he was pitching really well. I think he had and look at his September stats were like, I want to say he was probably like mid twos ERA, like he was pitching really well. So
I actually tell
think
you
they
one
got
thing:
three
this
dudes.
team is solid. Like
They
It
need
is.
more.
Hey.
They need more. They need somebody though. They need like somebody to take. They need a co-star. That's what they needed. They need a co-star for Jose.
Like I just need Aaron Savale to just not be there.
Yeah. Well, let's just say this though:
Yeah,
like
fair.
to show you how much their team had just improved this offseason, with just smaller moves. If Mike Zunino hits like he normally does, so in 2021 he had 33 home runs. So let's just say 30. You have Mike Zunino starting catcher, Josh Bell at first, Andres Gimenez at second, who hit like 300 last year. You have Jose Ramirez, Ahmed Rosario, who almost hit 300 last year. You have Stephen Kwan. Yes,
Come on now.
Stephen Kwan, Oscar
The
Gonzalez,
legend.
and then their worst, actually Josh Naylor did pretty good last year for DH. And then their worst bat would be Miles Straw. Like, that team's actually solid. They should easily win that
Little
division.
guy.
Did they
Who's
re-sign
the number
Miles Straw?
one?
He was.
Fighting people in the outfield.
I
They
mean, it's in
re-signed
their
him?
depth chart right now, so I guess so.
Damn, they should let that
Against the
dude go.
Yankees.
They should have, man. He's so
To
irrelevant.
the Bronx.
But, like, that team's actually, like, pretty good. Like, for at least.
He
like,
looks
You know what
mad
they need?
strong and doesn't hit home runs.
They need fucking Jerickson Profar. That's who they need. They need a guy like him and then I'll give them an A.
And either him, honestly, those three guys we mentioned, Duval, Profar, and David Peralta, any one of them would make that team a lot better than Miles Straw.
All right. So the Oakland Athletics, F.
F. Yeah, we're not
For
even
fuck
need to talk about
them.
that. Yeah, F.
I think we just need to end there with
Yeah, I was just say F. Don't even.
And then
Solid
Chris is
Stadium.
like, nah, but that D minus
Yeah.
though.
Solid team.
Nah,
Only
F,
Leonardo could bring them back.
F. Even that
Put them
Murphy,
in Nevada.
that Murphy trade was terrible. That's an F. Like it was, they got nothing back.
I don't know what they're doing at all, ever, at any point in time. But the
That's what
Texas
I think.
Rangers, who were 4th in the West last year.
I'm gonna go B. Just because we haven't seen what this team has done yet. Like pretty much most of their team is new. 3 guys in the rotation right now are new. So I'm just gonna go B because we haven't seen it yet, but they have a potential to be really good on paper.
I give them a B plus potential. Got some good ass players. Obviously, some of them need to have a comeback year, like Simeon, Seager, especially. Valdi has a lot to prove as well. Native in his hometown, he's probably gonna be comfortable playing out there. What's that right fielder that they have?
Adolis Garcia.
Adolis, yeah.
Adolis, that guy.
That dude's a stud.
He's so underrated.
I'm gonna go I think B as well, just for Wulfy, like you said it. I mean, on paper this is a cool team. I like how it is. I think especially when you have Semien, Seager, Lowe, Garcia, when you have those guys all at the top of your lineup. But there's one guy that's very underrated, Jonah Heim. I think he's gonna have a huge year this year. He had a lot of breakout games last year. But I think this year he's going to be a top hitting catcher in this league. And then don't forget that they got Mitch Garver for whatever that's worth and Brad Miller. But it's their rotation for me that I think is going to carry them. I'm very much sold on the rotation. I think their bullpen needs so much work that I think it's going to hold them from ultimate greatness.
Yep.
But that rotation is solid in my opinion. It's like 6-7 guys that I think can get the job done, plus Leiter and Kumar Rocker, who are coming up at any moment that the Rangers want to just unleash.
They got potential.
Chris's face.
Yeah, I'm going with I'm going B minus. I'm going B minus. I'm going B minus because one, I've been graded a little bit harsher than you guys, so I gotta stay consistent on that. But 2, I think that I think they need. I don't know. I just feel like they're really good on paper, but they have to prove themselves in a tough division with 2 very good teams. Like the Mariners are very good, the Astros are very good. Like they gotta. It's not like it's kind of like the Mets were last year, and like they had to prove themselves that. I mean, not really. I mean, because it's the Braves, but I just feel like they can't. Their run differential last year showed that they can score a lot, but it's just and they fixed a lot of the problems. But who's their closer? Like I don't even know who is their opening day closer.
Is Jose Leclerc still
Leclerc.
there?
Jose Leclerc.
That's what I was thinking. He's got to be the only one
Leclerc.
still there. I thought they had someone else last year, though. I thought he was hurt. I can't remember.
Oh,
It's going to drive me nuts. I got to look this up.
Ian Kennedy?
Yeah, actually, wasn't he their closer? Like, as weird as that sounds.
I don't know. They had some dude. But
Exactly.
well, we're spending too much time on the Texas Rangers. Let's go to the Los Angeles Angels.
I'm going to just say a C. Even though they have guys like Trout and Ohtani and Rendon, like, supposedly supposed to be good players. They made some moves this year. They're just still like the average team. Their starting rotation is like crap. Their bullpen's crap. Guys can't stay healthy, and the team never puts it together. So they're like, I can't say D because they have those guys, but I can't say B either because they haven't improved it at all. So I'm just gonna go C.
I say the same. Only willing to see, what's his name? Rendon hit lefty again and hit another bomb. And Otani go crazy this year. Hopefully he's Cy Young MVP.
That's fair. I'm going C plus, and the reason I go C plus is because it's it's such a shitty team put together because it's like you look at their lineup and they have the potential to genuinely be like one of the best lineups in the league because you're gonna go, you got Trout and Otani. You're gonna get a healthy Anthony Rendon. I know we've said this like the last 3 years in a row, a healthy Anthony Rendon. But you're gonna get a healthy Anthony Rendon. I wouldn't even play him in spring training at this point. But you got Taylor Ward who really broke out. You got Hunter Renfroe now. You got Drury. You got Jared Walsh, who's projected to hit seventh. Like, if Jared Walsh is hitting seventh in my lineup, I'm a pretty happy man because I like Jared Walsh. But then you also got David Fletcher still. You got Gio Urshela. You got Max Stassi. They signed Brett Phillips. Like, the hitters go on and on. But with pitching, it's Otani and Tyler Anderson, and then Patrick Sandoval, Jose Suarez, Reed Detmers. No one worth mentioning in their bullpen besides maybe like Ryan Tepera and Aaron Loop and guys that were good like 2 years ago. But I have to give them a C plus because I love that lineup, but I hate their pitching. So, but I like Trout and Otani more than I hate their pitching, I guess.
Who was their
Yeah,
pitching
I'm
again?
same as
Could you
you.
read that off again? Their starters.
Say that again.
Who was their starters again? Otani,
They
Reed.
got Otani, Tyler Anderson, Patrick Sandoval, Jose Suarez, and Reed Detmers.
All right, I'm not a big fan of Detmers. Is overrated because of the no hitter. Suarez, I don't like. Tyler Anderson is literally just like Heaney, where I don't trust him because his whole career has been shit. And then you have Otani and then Sandoval. I kind of like a little bit. Yeah, I'm just not a fan.
Otani's gonna throw no hitter.
Not a fan.
He's gonna throw no hitter this year. Remember I
Yeah.
said that.
I'm gonna go with C plus from what Saxby said. You got two generational talents on your team and a stacked lineup, so it's got to
We'll
win you
see what
some
happens.
games, especially with all these new
Right.
rules. Offense rules the way this year, right?
The Mariners, I think I'm going to go B. Yeah, I think I'm going to go B on the dot, B. Just because I really like the rotation. And I think their rotation and their bullpen is something I really love. They're going to have Luis Castillo, Robbie Ray. They're just going to have a bunch of guys that I don't feel like listing off or looking up right now. But I really love their pitching, and then their hitting, it's going to be Papa Julio. I mean, why not? I mean, I know I said earlier they needed to do more. I stand by that, but I'm still going to give them a B.
That's why I'm probably going to give them a B. I'm going to give them a B minus because I said that before. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And while they did get Hernandez, they didn't do like anything signing wise. And I feel like you were so close and like you showed so much potential that you got to do something more than what you did. So I'm just going to go B minus.
I'm gonna go B. I think we get to see Julio in a full year where he's gone through a full year now. So I think he's gonna probably approach the season a little differently, have more stamina down the stretch, be able to start hot maybe. I think they get it off to a hot start. The All-Star game gives them even more confidence, more motivation to do well this year. And I think, Luis Castillo they extended him out. I think they got Hernandez. I like them. I think they got Cal Riley coming back. Big Cal hit some home runs.
Big Cal. All right.
I give him a B plus. I just like the moves all around, hitting. They went out and they got Teoscar, who is a steal in my opinion for them, especially. The same thing with Luis Castillo. Like, had any bigger name team gotten Luis Castillo would have been a problem, especially like the Yankees. I was just like one team. I just didn't want the Yankees. I didn't want him to go to the Yankees. He's a problem. Whether people want to talk about it or not, the dude is a problem. He had one of the best postseason numbers at that too, and he didn't have a bad year. He had a pretty solid year, and he's only going to get better. And now that he's transitioned, I think he's actually more built for American League teams than he is built for National League teams, just because of how the dynamics flip flop and whatnot. So I think he's only going to get better. Last year they had the most come from behind wins, and I think that's not really going to change. They probably, I think they're going to do better in retrospect as opposed to last year, because now they understand the team that they have, knowing that they've added better players to it, and so kind of have a chip, especially like you said about the All-Star game. It's gonna give them a bigger push to do better. J-Rod is just gonna have an even better year. I think he's gonna have one of the best half a decade for a stretch, as from a rookie heading forward, that we've probably seen in history, if anything. But like especially like in the Latin American aspect, he's going to be one of the best. He already showed last year. He's only going to get better.
Fair enough.
And to me, that team is just, he's solid. That's a solid team.
Fair enough. So, where do you guys put the Astros? We'll cap it off
I'll
here.
just still go A. I mean, there's just still such a good team, great players. A solid 4: Bregman, Alvarez, Springer, Tucker, Altuve.
A dynasty.
Yep, definitely.
They said an A for me. It's a dynasty right there. Like, as much as everything has shifted before, and Chris want to say he's holding it back, they just need one more ring. But like, the game is changing. The game is changing, and at the current moment, they are today's dynasty in baseball.
I'm going A-.
I'm going A-, and the reason why I'm going A- is because I don't know. I mean, I love their lineup. Altuve and Brantley, Bregman, Jordan, Abreu, Tucker, Pena. That's deadly. That's deadly as hell. But when you look at their rotation, without Verlander, it's a little weaker now. Valdez, Javier, McCullers can't stay healthy to save his goddamn life.
Chicken right here.
Luis Garcia or Urquidy, that's going to be their rotation. And then their bullpen, I mean, it's always good. It's just names that I just don't quite believe in. They won the World Series, don't get me wrong. But
they're one of the best bullpens in baseball.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going with A-. I don't think they'll be as good as last year, but I still think they're probably the best team in the majors.
I think if they keep it up with the Spider Attack, they're gonna stay here, yo. Come on now.
Yeah.
All right, and that wraps that up. So next week we'll do the NL, because we'll probably pivot next week's.
Technical difficulties, folks. Oh, you're muted.
You gotta put the dome closer to your face.
Oh yeah, I don't even.
There we go.
This shit just like, all right, this shit kind of like just broke, but
No way.
I'm gonna fucking hold it.
Anyway.
Oh.
Look at this shit.
ED, it's flopping.
My mic got the ED. Bro, this is bad. All right. So, how I want to kind of end this is I just want to talk about Trevor Bauer. So Trevor Bauer, he got reinstated. The Dodgers let him go. They said, we don't want your kind here. Who do you guys think anybody signs him at all?
Of course. Between the Yankees and the Red Sox, I don't see anybody else really pushing for him. Well, I think they'll push the most for him, and if not, we're probably gonna see him in like the Pirates.
I agree. There's no way in hell he is going to a top market team. There's no way I would even say he's going to go to a playoff team right now until the deadline. He's going to start at the bottom. He's going to work his way up with a crap team. He can do a Cincinnati reunion. No, dude, there's no way they're doing it after they trolled him with the baseball hats, the signed balls and hats. But he's probably going to go to like a bottom feeder team, Miami, Cincinnati. I said Pittsburgh.
Nah.
Maybe somewhere like that, rejuvenate, and then go to get traded at the deadline.
Bring him to Queens. We'll take him in Queens, man.
What do you think, Chris?
I think he's gonna sign with the Padres. I feel like he signs with the Padres because it's the biggest fuck you to the Dodgers that he can give them. You're paying me $22 million to pitch against you on your rival team for $720,000.
Yeah, that's smart.
He just washes them every time they face each other. He just washes the Dodgers. He's number one pitcher against them. You know he's going to want that kind of energy.
He would be the number one pitcher on the Giants, too, probably, stat-wise, right? I'm forgetting a starter they have that's better. Oh, Logan Webb.
I don't think the Logan Webb ever should ever be the same.
What was that?
What the fuck? What was that?
What was what?
That wasn't me, yo.
Yo, I'm shy because what the fuck was that?
I thought that was either Devante or like your child or something.
Bro, I thought that was Chris. I was staring right into his camera and just nothing was happening. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It was me scratching my throat.
Why do
I guess it's a Hispanic thing. I don't fucking know.
you gotta really think about what teams in the major leagues are really fucking shameless, right? No, hold on. I know I mentioned one team. I'll circle back to them.
Yeah,
because I actually think they're gonna be the ones. But you think about it. I don't think it'll be the Yankees. The Yankees have lost their Yankees-ness about them over the last 10 or so years. They're not signing the biggest and baddest free agents. They're not the biggest villains anymore. It's just Aaron Judge. They're not the normal Yankees.
All these women beaters.
He
fits the Yankee culture. Her mom beat his shorty in front of one of the workers from the Yankee Stadium, and then Chapman out here is choking hoes and shit. Like,
so the only teams that really come to mind: the Dodgers, who he won't go to, the Mets, who he most likely won't go to. And I say the Mets are shameless for how they handled Correa. Wulfy, you fucking know you guys were shameless as shit for that.
Yeah, fuck Morris.
But there's two teams that I think ultimately are not his only options, but I think the two teams that it'll come down to. The Cincinnati Reds. Why the fuck not? He had a Cy Young year there. He not revitalized, but I guess he got his stardom and his fame by just doing so good as he did on the Reds. But the Minnesota Twins, why not? Why not the Minnesota Twins?
That would be sweet.
They got Joey Gallo. They got Carlos Correa after nobody else wanted his fucking prosthetic leg or whatever the fuck he's got going on, because whatever's going on there is obviously that's like Illuminati scary. I'm going with the Twins. I think the Twins sign him. They don't care. They don't care about anything. It's Minnesota. They're tired of losing. They got to try something. Why not get Trevor Bauer in their ugly little new uniforms they got, and let's go.
And they lost Bundy and Archer, so they need pitching.
There you go.
I think you actually
you get Bundy and Archer times 5. Like, you combine them together and times them by 5, and you get Trevor Bauer.
You actually said it before, though, and I know you're like, oh, it can't happen because of the manager. But to actually have a reunion with the Guardians and get rid of Seville and have McKenzie, Bieber, and Bauer again would actually be solid. That would be like really good for that team. But no, I think that's a solid move. Like you said, the Twins would be a perfect landing spot. They could use
Detroit.
So bad. Yeah,
Boston.
On that note, I think it's time to get on out of here. So listen, our time is up. Your time is now. You can't see me. My time is. No, I'm just playing. But
he wrote that as a thing today. You know that, right? I don't know if you saw that. He tweeted that today, which is funny.
Our time is up. We're gonna get on out of here. That was episode 14 of High and Inside. We make baseball entertaining. Baseball is entertaining, but we make baseball more entertaining. That was it from us. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, sell your soul. Don't do what Trevor Bauer did. Don't do what Trevor Story did. Don't be named Trevor. That's the big advice of the day. With that being said, have a good night.